What's mobbing? Blessings and peace to you guys. I hope all is going well. As always, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Click the bell so you can get notifications for all of the videos that we post. Don't want you guys to miss out on any content. Let's get straight into it. So today what I want to talk to you about is, what is the most important thing? That's probably like one of the greatest questions in life that you could ever ask. And this same question is asked of Jesus in Mark chapter 12 by one of the scribes. First, the Pharisees come earlier in the chapter questioning him about, is it lawful to pay taxes to Caesar, trying to trip him up. Next, the Sadducees come and they're asking all these weird questions about resurrection, and Jesus refutes them. And finally, according to Matthew's gospel, he calls this particular scribe a lawyer. So this is in a day where there's no constitution. Israel doesn't have a U.S. Constitution and a democratic society. Their law is the law of Moses. The word literally translated means instruction. And he says, hey, out of all of this instruction that we have, all of the Torah, what's the most important thing? Like, what is the most important thing? And Jesus says this straight out of Deuteronomy. He says, the most important of the commandments is this: Behold, O Israel, the Lord our God is one. Therefore, love the Lord your God with all of your heart, with all of your mind, with all of your soul, and with all of your strength. This is the first and greatest commandment. The second is likened unto the first. You will love your neighbor as you love yourself. There are no commandments, he says, greater than these, and on these two hang all of the law and the prophets. And what a hefty statement. It's almost like I envision being given a 613 question test, if you've ever taken like final exams or anything, and having them say, well, you got this 613 question test, and if you get all of these other answers right, but you miss these two, you fail. If you get these two questions right, and you're hit and miss on these other ones, it's a win. To me, that's a no-brainer. If I was to focus on studying anything, to put my focus, to devote my attention to doing anything, it would be what is most important. So throughout your week, while you do whatever it is that you do, as you go observing the law in the way that you're kind to your neighbor, in the way that you don't slander, in the way that you observe the Sabbath or don't observe the Sabbath, whatever it is that you're going to do, keep loving God with everything you have at the forefront of all of it. If you offer offerings and burnt offerings, this scribe answers Jesus, even saying this much. This is more important than all of that. All of your burnt offerings, all of your sacrifices, everything else as far as humanitarianism that you would do is nothing in comparison to loving God with everything you've got. It's the one thing you can't miss. And the second is like it. And if you put your focus on doing these things, you will do all the rest. Because if you love the Lord with all of your heart, if you love him with all of your mind, all of your soul, and all of your strength, not 99%, but all of it, you won't have any other gods before him. You won't break his commandments. You won't do things that dishonor him or displease him, because we don't do that to people that we love. And we don't do that as an expression of that love. And if you love your neighbor as you love yourself, you won't steal from them. You certainly won't commit adultery on them. You won't murder them or do anything such like. So if you want to be a good servant this week, if you want to be a good steward, if you want to please the Lord, and you've only got enough space in your head maybe to focus on a few things, devote your attention to loving God supremely above everything else and with all that you have, and love your neighbor as you love yourself.